Hey, what's going on? ShadovvRay here. Today we decided to play some more Overwatch 2, 6v6. Played a lot of junkrat, played on 3 different matches. Thought I'd share my clips with you and maybe talk about my mindset through all of it and just have some good times. So the first map we were playing on was Ilios. They had Lucio, Doomfist, Brigitte, Reinhardt, and a couple others that I can't think of. I played pretty decent on this match, not as well as I normally do, but I feel like I played at least all right, you know. I made some bad decisions and I made some good decisions here. I feel like I had some pretty good reaction times, primarily when Doomfist came behind me and when I countered Brigitte as well. As you can see, we moved to the second portion of the map, and I actually did really good in this part. What I'm doing here is I'm spamming the choke. That way, when enemies come through, they're getting damaged immediately. As Junkrat, I try and go for finishing blows if I can, but my primary job for myself personally is softening them up and then letting the other DPS or even our tanks take over. But you'll notice on this portion of the map, I didn't die as much. A lot of that came from bad positioning on their part and me learning how to have better positioning with Junkrat. And also just if I engage in a bad fight to have a mine ready for me when I'm engaging in a somewhat risky situation. There was an Ashe over there that I was trying to get, but she kind of disappeared, so I pulled back with my team, and then that's when they came forward with their Reinhardt and the Diggy person. I don't know who that is. But as we went along, I mean, we pretty well held them off the point for almost the whole time. I believe there was at some point where they did claim the point, but we got it back. This Doomfist here, I don't know why he was pushing a whole team solo, but I guess I can't talk too much because I do the same thing. And then this Brigitte here, I was able to shoot her behind her shield. That way she didn't stun me or anything like that. This Lucio, we got too wrapped up on killing the enemy team that this Lucio actually ended up taking the point, and so we had to fall back and gave their team a chance to pull in, but unfortunately they couldn't take advantage of the situation, so we capitalized. There's that Ashe again. Reinhardt pushing alone. His team's kind of behind him, but not really. Was this tire any good? Not really. I mean, it got Lucio, but I'm working on timing my tires better. You'll notice a lot watching this that I don't use my tire much. And it's not that I want the big plays all the time. Obviously, we all want the big plays all the time. But a lot of it for me was making sure I get value out of my ult. Maybe I'm doing it wrong because at the same time, not using your ult enough can take away value. Because at the end of the day, if you just keep using your tire, you're going to have more opportunities to get that value, right? So we won that round. Now we're on this third round of Ilios. And this Reinhardt was kind of being a pain in my butt. Luckily, Zarya was there to bubble me, so it absorbed a lot of the damage. Yeah. This I really popped off on this map, so you're gonna wanna watch this because I think I did it really good. They had me a couple times, I can't lie. I died a couple times here. I wouldn't necessarily say due to stupid decisions, just more to positioning issues. But that Winston, honestly, when I hit that Winston, I thought I sent him off the map. Obviously, he didn't go off the map. That was a good little 3K there. And then someone decided to switch to Junkrat. You know, if you take a shot at the king, you best not miss. I dominated every Junkrat I played against in this match. I'm pretty sure there was 1 or 2. And they just didn't stand a chance. I mean, my Junkrat skills are just too good, you know. And then this fat tub of lard decided to sniff my butt, and then Lucio decided to boot me off the cliff, so that was great. And then I come back to try and do any sort of kind of thing, and I get hooked immediately by that fat tub of lard. And then Junkrat came and trying to finish me off. I was focused on him, then Farah came behind me and killed me. I get back into the fight. What's her face? I can't remember her name. Puts up that big wall, and then Roadhog decides to use his ult here. Not a big deal. I could handle it. I used an ult of my own. I was surprised to get a 2K here, to be honest. I wasn't really expecting that. And then, of course, here comes this fat tub of lard again. I was surprised to be able to get a 2K there, though. I really wasn't expecting to get anything good. I didn't see anybody. So apparently the timing was just right. This Farah, honestly, didn't really pose me any issues. Our team shut her down pretty well, pretty fast. I think that Junkrat killed me there. Oh, jeez. But no, I really like taking the high spots with Junkrat, especially in maps like this, because then I can just spam the room on the inside, and there's virtually nothing they can do about it. We got a team kill there as a team, so that helped us get the point back. They got the point first. As you can see, they're at 99%. They started engaging us about midway, not at the actual part of the map, but midway for us on the way to the map. And I really like this map for Junkrat because there's a lot of choke points, so when they start pushing like this, I can just spam grenades in the middle and not have any issues whatsoever. But we got them taken care of. We started pushing towards the middle of the map again. I tried going for this Pharah, but it didn't work out. And then Junkrat trying to test me again. My tank actually ended up finishing off that kill for me. But Lucio and Reinhardt were in the point here, and then Pharah ulted. Took care of the Pharah pretty quick. My team did. And then just tossed in more damage. I did the tire here because I thought this was going to be in the end of the game, but there were still a couple people around. However, I did end up getting play of the game on that 3K with no tire. I'm really proud of getting a play of the game without the tire because a lot of times the play of the game is, well, using your ult in some way or someone else's ult. So I got the Reinhardt, I got the Lucio, and then I got Space Girl. I don't know her name either. Next match we played on Hollywood. I'm not too proud of how I played here. I think I made some good decisions, but I also think I made some bad decisions. I ended up not staying behind the choke. I kind of went to where they were spawning at. And I mean, I got a lot of damage out in the first couple minutes, but I definitely could have played way better here. I got that echo, and then I thought Mercy was going to res, so I came back. She ended up not resing. Me and the cat were kind of flanking. What I would have done different in this situation is before engaging, making sure that I had a concussion mine ready. That way, I could have escaped back to my team. Here, I was just trying to not loosen up, but break up Reinhardt's shield a little bit more. Because we don't like Reinhardt, and grenades conquer barriers pretty well. But we couldn't stop them from getting the payload, so we ended up falling back. I ended up dying. For whatever reason, this Reinhardt was up here. I have no idea why. He was giving me the business. And luckily, I was able to get back with my team, though. Never mind, I died. But then I came back with my team. I saw Echo took Bastion as her ult. We were able to finish her off pretty quick. We actually shifted the momentum a little bit here in this part. Roadhog used his ult, and I took care of him. I was trying to get that support character, but I just couldn't quite get him. Here, I thought I was good, and then I didn't realize that they had a Battle Mercy on their team. So, but they're getting pretty close to the payload, getting really close to winning the game, and I think we have like 5 minutes left. So, I mean, there's no chance of holding this, but, I mean, I guess at least we can farm kills and damage and boost our stats up in the overview screen, right? But, I mean, yeah, they had everybody. They had Roadhog, they had Echo. I tried flanking here, but as soon as I tried, Echo and that support character came in and started giving me the what for, so I had to pull back. Not a big deal. Like I said, the chances of us winning this were pretty slim to none anyway. Our team didn't really coordinate as well. We were all running in solo, and obviously you can't really take on a 6v6 or a 6-man team by yourself. I don't like this ult. This ult drives me nuts. Because it disrupts momentum. And I know that's probably the point, but it still makes me mad. Third match here, we got Nepal. I love Nepal, honestly. And a lot of it's just because I'm a Junkrat player, and there's a lot of chokes on this map, and so I spam the chokes like every other map. I tried staying back here more. I did die a few times on this map, but I was able to get some good kills and help shift the momentum when the enemy team had the point. This Diva was focused on someone else, so I was able to take advantage of her not paying attention and her defense matrix being used at the time, so I finished off her mech. I should have focused on finishing her as well, but, I mean, what do you do, you know? I did this tire here because I knew they'd all be in here. It looks like our team had taken care of them. This Tracer ended up coming and smacking me in the butt, but then my Total Mayhem smacked her in the butt, so, I mean, it worked out, you know, just fine. But then we got the point back, so I started spamming this choke. This Tracer came, dropped her bomb, and I didn't see her for another 10 seconds or so. Then Diva came back with her defense matrix, and I don't know why, but I shoot at it anyways. It's not like Genji's, you know, deflect when you shoot at it. I mean, if nothing else, all I'm hurting is my accuracy, and Junkrat's not supposed to have good accuracy anyway, because at some point her defense matrix is going to fall, so let's just keep sending grenades until that happens. But this Diva overextended, and I was able to push her back a little bit farther. We were able to maintain the point here. I think Diva ulted here, if I remember right. Can't quite remember. No, she didn't. But this spot I love. Because like I said, there's multiple chokes on this map, and so they had 4 of them grouped up there. I may not have killed many, but I was able to get them to disperse, and we were able to maintain the point. So it kind of worked out in a better way. Let's see here. The enemy team ended up taking back the point, but we were able to regain control rather quickly. I don't know why I didn't respond here to this D.Va shooting at me. For whatever reason, my focus was to run away, maybe to try and get behind the barrier. But obviously that didn't work out, the way I wanted it to. Tracer, I love that Junkrat can just two-hit Tracer. The problem is if it's a good Tracer, then they can just blink away or do her reset and go back. I think it's like 3 seconds. But I did another tire here trying to gain the point. I stopped here because there was a D.Va ult in there. So if I'd went in there at the time, D.Va would have blown up my tire. So we ended up getting the point back. And as always, the enemy team kept trickling in instead of grouping up as a team. I think if they had grouped up more, it would have been more of a fight. Granted, they do have 99% on this point, but I mean, they weren't really concerning. I noticed that Bastion was also shooting his grenades, so I didn't want to mess with that. He's like a Junkrat on steroids when he does that, and so why would me as a Junkrat, deal with that? We got D.Va out of her mech, it's overtime, and our team just completely wiped house. That Tracer tried to do whatever she could, but she ran away. And then we're on the second stage of Nepal, and we 2-0'd these guys. I started spamming that choke because you never exactly know where the enemy team's going to come from. This Tracer absolutely outplayed her. But you never know where the enemy team's going to come from, so that's why I started spamming that choke. And if they aren't there, then I just readjust. Simple as that. I tried to make sure that our point was ready for us. So we captured it and completely decimated the team. I mean, I felt so bad in some parts of this map because we'd kill them, they'd come back, and we'd just sit at this choke point. And they would just sit there for, 30 seconds to a minute, just getting absolutely decimated. A lot of that came from our Reinhardt. Our Reinhardt had really good positioning here. It gave everyone else a chance to start lobbing in their damage to soften up everyone else. This sword chick really... I hate playing against the good ones because they can outmaneuver me. They can outmaneuver me faster than I can outmaneuver them. They just have a lot of movement. But then I noticed that these artillery strikes were coming, so I concussion mined away. I was actually really surprised I survived that. Then my healers came in. There's a Tracer in the back lines again, per usual. Overall, I think I did really good this match. I think I dominated this game pretty well. This D.Va ult, it took me out immediately. There was no chance of me getting away. But no, I think I did really good in this game. I think there were some mistakes I made that I can improve on, but I think there was way more that I did right than wrong, in my personal opinion. But I will say that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching my Junkrat gameplay again. I really appreciate you guys being here. Enjoy this play of the game, and have a great rest of your day.